Good evening, everyone. It's 5:15, and at this time, I would like to call to order the agenda review meeting of the Maricopa County Community College District Governing Board for October 2020. And today we're going to review the agenda for the October 27, 2020 board meeting. So going through for purposes of the record, I will also do a roll call vote for the board. And I'm presuming Ms. Munoz is still unable to meet with us. So I'm now going to call board members for attendance. Mr. Hendricks. I don't think I lost him, did I? Mrs. McGrath. Mrs. McGrath, are you present? Dr. Narini.
I'm here.
Good. Good to hear your voice.
I'm sorry, I muted her for just a second. Ms. McGrath should be on now. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. McGrath, are you present?
I've been here all the time. Apparently, I wasn't unmuted.
Well, now you are, so that's good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Mr. Saar?
I'm here.
Dr. Thor?
I'm here.
Mrs. Nguyen?
Mrs. Nguyen is calling in. She'll be in just a second.
Okay, my presence, I'm going to go back. Mr. Hendricks? Is that my phone? Huh. Okay, I see Mr. Hendricks is trying to get on. So before I move us into the agenda, I'll wait one more moment for Mrs. Nguyen and Mr. Hendricks.
Mr. Hendricks, it looks as though your audio needs to be connected. Would you like some, let me text you.
Okay, I'm going, since we do have a quorum of 5 board members in attendance, and that shows that both Mr. Hendricks and Ms. Nguyen have not connected yet. I will call the meeting to order with the 5 attendees. And as they join, Elsa, if I don't catch it before you do, would you please let me know so we can change the quorum number?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So with that, I'm going to go through the agenda as it was presented in the board book. And of course, we start certainly with the call to order, the substitutions and the reports as noted on there. The one thing that we will be doing differently at this upcoming meeting is we will in fact do the Emeritus Awards and Recognition, which we have not been doing due to the way we've been meeting, but I know our creative folks at the district office have come up with a way that we can duly honor all of the folks that deserve that. And so that will be in addition to our meeting next week. Then we look forward to the Chancellor's report, where we will also have a presentation of the Women's Mentor Group program. With that, yes, thank you. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Mr. Hendricks is now on. And
Okay.
Working on Ms. Nguyen.
Okay, thank you. So right now then, we're a 6-0 attendance of board members. All right, so moving on then through the consent agenda, to the consent agenda, I'll call each item, and if you have any comments or questions, we'll go through the list. On the Chancellor Board and Legal, there are a number of, first there'll be 10.1, ratification of a termination, then 10.2 through 10.4, 12 are all emeritus distinctions, and 10.13, again, other awards for the legal services for a period of July 1, 2020 through June 2025. Are there any comments or questions from board members on any of those items?
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes, Mr. Summer.
10.2 is actually a little different. It's an update to the Mesa
Oh,
Community
good point.
College mission statement.
Thank you. You can read better than I. I was just being aggressive, I guess. Sorry. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Do you have a question or comment on
No,
that?
I'm fine with that. I think it's something that all of our colleges should review periodically, and this is a good improvement on the part of Mesa.
Well, thank you. And thank you for catching that. I appreciate that. Board members, yes.
May I interrupt for just a second? Can we
Sure.
go ahead and conduct a mic check for you, Ms. Nguyen? Ms. Nguyen, can we conduct a mic check? Okay, we'll continue to work with her.
Okay. So then moving through the consent agenda to item 11.1, approve new grant award from U.S. Department of Education, Title V, Developing Hispanic Serving Institutions grant to Mesa Community College. Any comments or questions?
Ms. Sullivan, I have one.
Yes, Dr. Narini.
No, just if, because I know these are grants and there's a whole program set up for it. And this is kind of all where my background is. If I could get a copy of what the plan is for this, that would be, I would like, just for my own personal interest, to see what's, how the grant's going to be administered.
Okay. Dr. Gonzalez, did you make note of Dr. Narini's request?
President Sullivan, Dr. Narini, we will ensure that you and the rest of the members of the governing board receive that grant. Thank you.
Okay. Then we'll go down to approve 11.2, approve new grant award from U.S. Department of Education, Developing Hispanic Serving Institutions Program, Title V, to Phoenix College for closing achievement gaps through holistic support, work-based experiences, and equity-minded practices. Any comments or questions?
Again, I have just the same request, and then just another question.
Go ahead.
This is a Title V grant as well? I'm guessing so.
Dr. Gonzalez, it says Title V to Phoenix College 4.
So what's the difference between a Title V project director and a title and just a plain old project director? Because I'm looking at Mesa's, I'm looking at Phoenix College's, the one that we just looked at, and then I'm sorry, the one up at Mesa, and then I'm looking at the PC one, and I see they're both directors full time, and just want to know if if it's the same level.
Dr. Gonzalez?
President Sullivan, Dr. Narini, that's some information that we're going to need to find out. Oftentimes in these grants, you will put estimated amounts, perhaps high-end amounts, on what these salaries may be for project directors, and it is possible that the scope of the work could be slightly different. Maybe it has to do with the number of programs that the director will oversee, or the number of staff that the director will oversee. But we can get you the specifics on this. I'm not entirely surprised that there is a difference, but I would have to, like you, I'd have to look at the specific grant application to see why that's the case. I also have, we should have the provost and Drs. Johnson and Drs. McQuam on, who might be able to offer us some additional insight to that. If they do it, I'd appreciate them speaking up. If not, then we will get that information to you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fisher, anyone else, any comments? If not, I'll move on. Okay, item 11.3, approve new grant award from U.S. Department Logistics Agency, Office of Small Business Programs to Maricopa Community Colleges for Arizona Small Business Development Center, Arizona Procurement Technical Assistance Center. Any comments or questions from any board members? Okay, board members, I'm just leaving this open for any of you to jump in, and I know it takes them a second to unmute, but so I'll do my best to pause well enough for you to jump in. If I don't, we'll just come back to whatever it is then that you'd like to comment. So that then will move us to 11.4, approved curriculum. Is there any comment or question on 11.4?
I just have one quick one. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No apologies.
Just on the chart on whatever that the page 3 of the chart, is that number where it says new programs on the far right total? The second from the bottom, it says it's number 1. Should that be 2? Right between the 3 and the 4?
Dr. Gonzalez?
I am looking for that, and I think I've just located what Dr. Narini has pointed out, President Sullivan and Dr. Narini. If all we're doing is adding up the number of new programs across that row, you're correct. That should be 2. Dr. Fisher, would you please note that? Or if it shouldn't be 2, then I would also like an explanation to that. Dr. Fisher, are you on this evening?
I am, so noted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments or questions on the curriculum? Mr. Starr, you're very silent.
Sometimes everybody gets it right.
Great. Okay. Any other comments? Being none, then I'll move us to 12 business services. 12.1, approve 59th Avenue land swap between Rexco LLC and Maricopa Community Colleges for future satellite campus of South Mountain Community College. Board members, any questions or comments? Okay, item 12.2, approve conceptual approval for remodeling the 4th floor at Mesa Community College Downtown Center. Any questions or comments?
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes? Is that Ms.
Oh,
Nguyen?
It is.
Okay.
I've been on from the beginning. I just had to get upgraded. So,
Oh, we're glad you're upgraded. Okay.
yeah, thank you for the upgrade. I just had a quick, the question is, that's the building where the Mesa Chamber of Commerce is, the Veterans Center, is that location? Is it across the street from the Delta Hotel?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is this upgrade include anything to the outside of that building or just the 4th floor?
Ms. Sullivan, this is Dana.
Yes, go ahead.
The 4th floor is above the parking lot, parking ramp. So there's nothing below it but a parking lot. So I know what you're saying, but it's not the same actual building as the chambers area.
Okay, so it's a building that's adjacent to it, just south of it, Dana, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're connected, physically by a parking lot, but different elevators to get to them. And it's where our NAU has offices as well as our fire science program that we had there. So it's being modified, I think, and I'm maybe stepping on somebody else, but modifying to house the East Valley IT Institute.
So the reason we're modifying is for EVIT?
No. Our own East, being mixed
I'm
up.
sorry.
Mesa, Chandler Gilbert, and Scottsdale have formed the Institute, Maricopa Institute, and IT Institute, I should say. And that's
Thank you so much.
currently being housed in the same floor as the chamber, but the goal is to move them up to the 4th floor.
Okay, all right. I knew that they had been next to the chamber. That's why I thought it was that building. And I'm thank you for the clarification. I really appreciate it. Okay, that's all I have.
So with that, I want the record to notice that we're now 7-0 present for agenda review of board members. Dr. Gonzalez, did you have anything to add for item 12.2?
President Sullivan, I don't have anything else to add unless Dr. Moore or Dr. Perquam do, and that would provide additional information than perhaps what Mr. Sari has provided.
President Sullivan, this is Lori Berquam, president at Mesa Community College.
Yes. Go ahead.
I just want to support what Sar has said. The only change to that is that NAU has vacated the facility. And so the renovation is mostly going to be some moving of and removing walls or replacing furniture, that type of thing. Minimal change.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Berkholm. All right. So moving to 12.3, approved job order, contracting purchase order for gym locker area plumbing upgrade and remodel at Mesa Community College. Are there any questions or comments from board members? Okay. We're going to item 12.4, approve construction award for student center roof replacement at Scottsdale Community College. Any questions or comments? Moving to 12.5, approve expenditure to purchase antivirus software using Arizona State Contract ADSP 017-149774. Any questions or comments? Being none, then we'll move to item 12.6, approve 5-year contract extension with Radio Research Consortium, Inc. That's KJAS and KBAC. Any comments or questions from any board members?
I have a question.
Yes, Mrs. Nguyen, go ahead.
I didn't see in that item when their contract currently expires. I just saw that we were getting a request to extend it for 5 years. So when is their contract expire?
Dr. Gonzalez?
Yes, thank you. President Sullivan, Mrs. Nguyen, I have John Hoban, who serves as the vice president, Rio Salado, in place for Kate Smith, who had to run off to attend to an emergency. John, you should have the ability to speak. If so, would you please answer Ms. Nguyen's question?
Sure. President Sullivan, board members, Dr. Gonzalez, thank you. The current contract, because of COVID, ended on June 30th with our fiscal year. So the Radio Research Consortium folks have done a extension for the current contract for all of the participating stations as a way to take care of this in a timely fashion. So it expired on June 30th of 2020.
So under what contract are you operating now? Because we didn't approve it, obviously, because it's now on our consent agenda. So you haven't had a contract since June. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's correct.
Mr. Hoban, when you said they offered an extension, did the extension carry you beyond the June 30, 2020 to cover current activities?
We access this material on a month-to-month basis. We didn't have access to it in July, and then that's when the paperwork became available to us, and they've been able to do this extension. So we had access in August at their behest to let us use that information. But right, that would be covered in the current extension if we were able to get it.
Okay. Ms. Nguyen, back to you.
Obviously we don't want to be reactive, and we're being a little reactive here because it expired. I don't have any questions now. I may pull this off the consent agenda at the meeting just because I have now other questions, but I don't even know what they're going to be at this point. So, but thank you for your answer. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. So, Mrs. Nguyen, given that you probably are going to ask for this to be removed, could you submit any questions you do have before the end of the week to Dr. Gonzalez and KJAS, this group, so that they can be prepared to answer any questions you will have on Tuesday, the 27th? That was actually a question. Can you do that, please? Okay, Elza Aishower is disconnected.
Okay, let me check with her again.
Okay. Dr. Gonzalez, if you want to follow up with Mrs. Nguyen to see if any questions she might have can be submitted prior to, so that they can, answers can be prepared and available for the October 27 meeting, that would be great.
Will do, President Sullivan. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, now moving on, we're still on consent agenda, item 13.1, compensation philosophy. Do we have any comments or questions from board members on this item? This is our time to talk about this then, since it is a consent agenda item for next time. Given the dialogue we had last time, are there any other follow-up questions or comments on this item? Okay, I'm going to move us on then, assuming then that there are none. So with that, then we will go to first read and information items 14.1. Employment and separations, August 22 through September 18, 2020. Board members, are there any comments or questions on this report? Any?
This is Tom. I just want to thank for putting together the comprehensive review on the positions and identifying what all the positions were and how they were replaced. I really appreciated that information.
Thank you. Mrs. McGrath, do you have any questions or comments on this item?
None other than that I'm kind of disappointed we have more hires than we do separations.
Yeah, was the additional information helpful to you?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So is that going in the direction that you have an interest in it going?
Well, I'd like to know how our student population is in relationship to the hires and terminations, but and I've asked for that in the past, so maybe we'll get it next time.
Okay, thank you. So Dr. Gonzalez, perhaps there can be some enrollment ratios attached at some point to that report for next time, or at least verbally, if not in writing.
President Sullivan, Mrs. McGrath, if I may give an opportunity either for Dr. Moore or Dr. Kelly to respond to Mrs. McGrath's comments, I would appreciate that opportunity.
Sure.
Dr. Moore or Dr. Kelly, do you have any immediate response to her comments or questions that were raised?
President Sullivan, Chancellor, Governing Board members. Chancellor, we'll follow up with the provost and work with her in reference to the student enrollment information.
Dr. Kelly, in terms of the number of hires versus the number of separations? Is there anything to add to that? Anything specifically you want to highlight that is in the information that's provided in the board packet?
No additional information, Chancellor. We do have, most of the positions are replacement positions, so not many new positions. So no additional information.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly.
Okay, everyone, thank
Excuse
you.
me, this is Jim Moore, the acting
Yes.
Chief Operating Officer.
Yes.
And President Sullivan and Ms. McGrath. I do think that it's important, you know, when we look at these reports to reflect on the board approved employees and our total workforce. And so when we try to create a ratio between enrollment numbers and our total workforce, it's important to notice or to note that our payroll is down significantly in terms of adjuncts and temps and so forth. So we would, you know, the ratios we correct that we create will reflect those numbers, because although that, you know, this reporting period, which is August, you know, July 18th through September 18th, is a period where we sort of expand our workforce slightly, you know, because we're headed into, you know, we're into the new fall term. It tends to rise at this cyclically every time this year. But I think if we look at year over year, between fall 19 and fall 20, you're going to see that our workforce is down. So I will work with Dr. Kelly and Martha Anderson and Dr. Fisher, and we'll try to work out some ratios that probably give a truer picture of what's going on.
I would appreciate that, because it doesn't look very good when we have 6 new hires with our enrollment still dropping.
Okay, well, it looks like yes, go ahead.
Georgette Kelly said something really important, which was that these are replaced. Is there a way to, even though they're new hires and they're replacing, because it looks like maybe someone left, but we're only measuring it during a certain time. Is there a way when we're hiring someone new to also give them a notation that they're replacing an opening? Is there a way to do that distinction that might make this more palatable? Does that make sense? What I'm asking.
President Sullivan, members of the board, Chancellor, Mrs. Nguyen, most definitely, we can gather that information for you.
Okay, well, I know you've been very assertive, Ms. Kelly and your department, Ms. Nguyen, and all the others in trying to find a way that we can get the information that is necessary at the policy level. And I know sometimes we go a little deep. It does help the conversation. So appreciate your efforts in that regard. Before I close out, any other comments or questions? Okay, being none, on the agenda, we have a placeholder for the burn report, which would be to review budget analysis fund ending in September 30, 2020. And then we'll move at the meeting to governing board reports, recognizing that we need to keep those reports to current event summaries or current activities. And that would be it. So then we would adjourn the meeting. So before I adjourn the agenda review, is there any other comment or question from board members around the agenda and the upcoming meeting? Being none, then go forth, everyone, and have a very good rest of evening. And with that, this meeting has ended. Thank you for your time tonight.